Welcome to everyone. Now we see about scheme of fundamental rights is my topic. First of all, we see about what is Constitution of India and some short notes skins on Constitution of India. First, ratified of Constitution of India starts from 26 November in 1949. It approximately 70 years ago. Date of effective 26 January 1950. System of Indian Constitution. Constitutional Parliamentary Socialist Secular Republic. Indian Constitution has three branches, namely Executive, Legislature, Judiciary. It has two chambers, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then, Judiciary of Indian Constitutions, Supreme Court, High Court and District Courts. Federalism of Indian Constitution is unitary, quasi-federal. Amendment. Indian Constitution contains 104 amendment. The last amendment is written by this year of January 25th, 2020. It is 104 amendment. Then go to the topic, scheme of fundamental rights. There are several fundamental rights of Indian Constitution. See one by one. Right to equality, then right to freedom, then right to freedom of religion, then right against exploitation, then cultural and educational rights, then right to property, then right to constitutional remedies, then right to privacy, right to equality. It gives the equal rights of all Indian citizens. It says the articles 14 to 18. Then right to freedom. It gives freedom rights of all Indian citizens. Freedom is the one of the most important ideal characterized by any democratic society. Some of the freedom rights includes freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly without arms, freedom of association, freedom of practice any profession, freedom to reside in any part of country. These are the some important points of Right to Freedom Act. It says the articles lies between 19 to 22. Then right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. The Constitution prohibits employment of children under 14 years in hazardous conditions. The right implies the prohibition of traffic in human beings. Then right to freedom of religion. Articles 25th to 28. It is the rights used to equal of all religions. Can Indian citizens can change their religion from one to other. The rights says about him. Then cultural and educational rights. The rights protect rights of religious, cultural and Hellenistic monarchies by facilitating them to preserve their heritage and culture. Educational rights are ensuring education for everyone without any discriminations. Then right to constitutional remedies. Constitutional grades remedies if citizens' fundamental rights are violated. Then citizens can even go directly to the Supreme Court, which can issue rights for enforcing fundamental rights. Then we see about the some of the features of the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are different form of ordinary legal rights in the manner in which they are enforced. If a legal right is violated, the aggrieved person cannot directly approach the SC bypassing the lower courts. He or she should first approach lower courts. Some of the fundamental rights are available to all citizens, while the rest for the persons. Then fundamental rights are not absolute rights. They have responsible for restrictions with means they are subject to the conditions of state security, the public morality and defense and friendly relations with foreign countries. They are judiciable, implying they are enforceable by courts. People can approach the SC directly in case of violation by fundamental rights. Fundamental rights can amended by the parliament by a constitutional amendment, but only if the amendment does not alter the basic structure of the constitution. Fundamental rights can be suspended during a national emergency, but the rights quoted under Articles 20 and 21 cannot be suspended. The applications of fundamental rights can be restricted in any area which has been placed under material law or military rule. Fundamental rights available only to citizens. Some fundamental rights are available to only Indian citizens. Prohibition of discriminations on ground of race, religion, caste, gender, or place of birth, says Article 15. Then Article 16 says equal of opportunity in matters of public employment. Then Article 19 says production of freedom. Then speech and expressions. Then association, assembly, movement, residence, profession. Then Article 29 says production of the culture, language and script of monetaries. Then Article 30 says right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. Then some of the importance of fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are very important because they are like a backbone of the country. They are essential to safeguarding the people interests. According to Article 13, all laws that are volatile of fundamental rights shall be void. Here there is any express provision for judicial review. Then amendability of fundamental rights. Any changes to fundamental rights require a constitutional amendment that should be passed by both houses of the parliament. Says example Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The amendment bill should be passed by a special majority of the parliament. As per Constitution, Article 13(2) states that no laws can be made that take away fundamental rights. The question is whether Constitutional Amendment Act can be termed law or not. In Jajan Singh's case of 1965, Supreme Court held the Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution, including fundamental rights. In 1973, landmark judgment ensued in the Kawasmanda Bharti case, where the SC held although no part of the Constitution, including fundamental rights, was beyond Parliament amending power. The basic structure of Constitution could not be abrogated every by constitutional amendment. This is the basic Indian law in which judiciary can strike down any amendment passed by Parliament that is conformant with the basic structure of the Constitution. In 1981, Supreme Court restricted the basic structure of doctrine. That's all. This is the sum of the schemes of the fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution. Then we'll see the next topic in next title. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for my opportunity. Thank you.